Hi, it's Beth Norman Roberts, and I'm from Sarnia, Ontario, here in Canada, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Today I'm making an accordion fold, and I'm just so excited that you joined me. I'm going to show you another little unique technique, so stay tuned and let's get started. This is the card that we're going to make today. It's called an accordion fold. We open it up and it's into a little accordion, and then we open it up again and it is a regular A2 card. So I'm going to give you the measurements for all the pieces, and I will also have them mentioned on my blog, and I will have them on the video below. So for our accordion, we want 4 1/4 by 11. For a mat, we want 4 by 5 1/4. Our A2 size, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And we're going to score it at 4 1/4, and then that will give us our base. Decorative paper, cut at 2 1/4 by 4. 2 pieces of 1 1/4 by 4. 2 3/4 by 4. And in white, we will need 2 1/4 by 4, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to cut that down. And then for the inside, 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch. Taking our long piece, we're going to put it in with the widest on the top, and we are going to score at 1 1/2. 3, 5 1/2, and 8. Let's get a little inky. I'm going to stamp the Hello sentiment using Sweet Sorbet. And then I'm going to use Orchard Oasis on my sentiment. I'm just tapping very lightly so that the ink doesn't get too thick. Taking the bone folder, I'm going to crease the edges. So the first one, you want to make a mountain, then a fold, and then a mountain, and then another. Oh, so when you pull it out, it has the accordion. Now, when I say I'm going to get inky, I really do get inky. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time keeping my ink off my fingers. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue the pieces onto our accordion. Now this is where the magic begins. Using the Forever Fern set, I used the sentiments earlier. Now I'm going to use one of the smaller leaf sets, and I should just say leaves, not leaf set. And Versamark can be used for embossing, but as well as ghosting. And this is a really neat trick for those of you who don't know about it. My pad is dark, and that does not affect the way the card stamps out. The color is still clear. There are refills for this too. So I'm going to stamp in there, stamp on the card, and can you see how it ghosts? it actually leaves a really nice image. So I'm not somebody who likes a lot of blank cardstock. I like to emboss it, dry emboss it, heat emboss it, ghost, or do whatever floats your boat. I'm going to go around all my outside edging, and then I'm going to reverse and just put randomly leaves here and there. The accordion gets glued right onto there. So then we have a nice little border with leaves, and that coordinates very nice with the leaf designer paper and then the front that we're going to put on too. So taking the glue, we will glue. Now we have the accordion, and it's time to decorate it. We have the painted texture embossing folder, and to save time, I embossed. I do love this embossing folder so much, and it really reminds me of the new designer series paper that we have in this newest catalog, the mini catalog. And if you don't have a copy and you live in Canada and you want to place an order with me, let me know and I'll get a catalog out to you. So this is Fancy Flora designer series paper, and if you take a look, it looks like the same type of spatula that would do the stucco look on this dry embossing folder and on all of these paper. And this is on my list to buy. I do love dry embossing. There's just a lot that you can do with it. And today we're using Orchard Oasis. And before you add your ink to the paper, it's very important that you tap a little bit off, because when you go right in, see how dark that would be when you're smushing? So just tap a little bit off, and we're going to go over and continue right over to the top. You'll see that the colors are very light, and it's so pretty already. How great the gradient color. I'm looking for something that's just a little bit darker. I'm using the 2022 to the 2024 in colors. I have a nice 6x6 package here of all the colors. I'll show you them. Now, my first sample that I showed you, I did use the plaid because I'm a plaid lover. I'm freaky for plaid. And it has all these assortments in the new in colors. The small patterns are great for this card. because it's using a small space. And then on the back side, these are all the different patterns too. So it's a pretty good deal. I'm going to use one of the flowers from Artistically Inked. This is a stamp set here, and it has some sentiments, and then what I'm going to do is use this flower right here. So I'm going to use that as my focal point, and I'm going to play around with how some of these would look. I think I'm going to stick with Parakeet Party. See if I can find another big one. I'm going to just snip this long stem off. It's hidden behind the rose from Artistically Inked. And I did add some glue there. I'll just take that off the top there since it overhangs. Just want to place this here and figure out where I want to add my leaves that were inked out in Shaded Spruce. So that will be one. I decided that I'm going to pop dot my flower. I really do love using pop dots. It's great for dimension. I do love added dimension in a card because I think it just adds that special professional touch. And then to embellish, I'm going to use these 2022-2024 matte decorative dots. And where it's a little darker, I'll use light, and vice versa. Let's just use. Finishing off with embellishments is really fun. I find it really adds to your card. Now, with the pop dot and these little pieces, you would want to put a piece of cardstock over top of your card when you put it in the mail so it's flat for mailing. Taking the accordion folder, I'm going to look to see if I want to pop dot this or lay it flat. I laid my other one flat, so let's do pop dots this time. I want to center. So I'm going to put the pop dots on the main accordion. And there's the accordion. The center piece was glued into the card. All there's left to do is to glue the front to the back. That ghosting really looks nice, doesn't it? It adds another element that adds a little bit of dimension. So here we have it, all finished. And here is the first one that I did. I really do enjoy these new 2022, 2024. Isn't that funny? We always say 2022 and 2024. Why don't I turn over a new leaf and say 2022 and 2024 in colors? They are so very pretty together. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, or hop on over to my blog at bethstamps.com. And you can see the dimensions again on my blog and listed down below. Happy stamping!